Hey guys, Weeb here. Welcome back to another video by Variety MMOs. In today's video, we're going to talk about 10 things I wish I knew when I first started playing Lost Ark. So those tips will cover a bunch of things that I didn't understand when I first joined and mistakes I made, and some mistakes that I picked up from other people in the community that I've spoken to give you an idea of some of the things you should probably know when first starting so you don't run into the same things that we did. So the tips today are going to cover mostly about leveling, some gathering tips, and small things like that. Most of them will be aimed at when you're leveling or just when you hit level 50. So all of these tips will be aimed at week 1 of gameplay for Lost Ark. The first step that we're going to talk about is something that many of you that have watched other guides or have tried the beta before would already know. But I'm going to start with this because I think it's very important that for people who have not tried the game, understand that in Lost Ark, you can basically just go through the story quests and hit level 50. Now, depending on how NA ends up, you may or may not have to do these little red emergency quests. So what this will be is on your minimap, you'll basically see like a red circle and it'll be like, kill 6 mobs or kill this mini boss. It's really fast. Honestly, it usually takes a minute at tops. And you'll also find little skulls on the minimap. So whenever you see a skull, it's usually just a little boss. Just go up and kill it. It'll take 10 seconds. Whenever you see a little red zone, complete that as well. However, when you're leveling up, you're going to see a lot of these yellow quests. These would be side quests. You don't want to be doing these when you're leveling up to level 50. So you'll come back later and potentially do them for your adventuring stuff, but more about that later. But while leveling up, completely avoid any quests that are either not your main quest or not the blue world symbol, which you will see after level 37. So number 2 would be the soft level cap. So while I believe NA is 55 or 60, I can't quite recall off the top of my head, when you hit level 50, a majority of your content is going to open up in Lost Ark. So it's not going to open up as soon as you hit level 50. You're going to hit level 50, click J to go into your guide quests. And you're going to have a bunch of guide quests in here. Now, you may not see what you're looking for, but when you do a guide quest that says go along and upgrade, unlocks your Chaos Dungeons, for example, it'll unlock another quest, and then another quest, and another quest. When you unlock all of your guide quests, it'll unlock all of the content that you should be doing at level 50. So as soon as you hit level 50, it is very important to go and unlock them. Not necessarily do them immediately, but complete all of your guide quests because they do give you XP, knowledge, and unlock all of the things that you're going to be doing at the end of the game. There will be a few things that are locked, like higher end raids and whatnot, which you'll have to do more quests to unlock or potentially unlock areas. And there'll be something in the house that doesn't unlock until level 52. But 90% of the game is unlocked at level 50, so be sure to go around and explore as soon as you hit level 50. You can level up to level 55 or 60, whichever it is in NA. However, unlike level 1 to 50, you're not just going to grind quests or whatnot. It's something that'll happen when you either are leveling in your house, in your XP grinding at level 52, or it's something you'll get just basically doing your daily type of thing, and not really something that you just grind towards. Number 3, you can level up your alt using gold in your stronghouse. Now, I want to be very clear here. What this does is it uses gold to level up your alt to whichever one you select. So if we go into manage, go to knowledge, you can see here that you're able to select an alt and basically it'll give that alt all of the quests and whatnot done up to the point that you pay for and give it an item level. This will be really tempting to do at the beginning of the game. People will level one alt up, get just enough gold, and do another one. I don't recommend this because you're not going to have a lot of gold initially. When doing this, I would strongly recommend doing your main and 2, maybe even 3 ults, and grind your main up to a higher content level where you can get easier gold. And then once you're getting a lot more gold and you feel more secure in your gold, then go ahead and use gold to upgrade your characters so you don't have to level them. If you use too much gold initially and don't upgrade your main, you can hit a wall where you don't have the gold to keep upgrading your main and you literally can't do anything. So while this is very important, please don't level 1 account, get just enough gold, and then spam it because you will regret it later. At about level 25, you're going to unlock Gathering in Lost Ark. So Gathering is pretty simple, but we will talk more about it in another guide. But when you hit level 25, I strongly recommend that you start working on your Gathering. So some people will say that it's best just to run all your ults to raids and just run raids and raids and raids, you know, like they do. However, I like to focus on Gathering because it can get you gold, it can get you materials for yourself, and upgrade components. So the earlier you start Gathering, the earlier it'll start paying off. So as soon as you hit level 25, I would recommend you getting some wood and stone. So these are going to be used to upgrade your stronghold, which is something you need to start as soon as humanly possible. So when you get to Lake Bar Village at about level 25, you're going to unlock Gathering. So you're going to do your quests. I recommend just using Lake Bar around here to get your ore. And then when you jump to the next zone, you can see up here that trees are here. So just grab the trees as you go through. You're going to recharge about 3,000 to 4,000 Gathering points per day. So even if you don't want to use them all, just use 3,000 to 4,000 so you don't actually waste your energy. Following up on the Gathering advice, let's look at tip 5, which is tool rerolling. So as soon as you unlock Gathering, you're going to get some tools. If you look at the tools, you will notice that they have different stats on them. So for example, my current shovel, as you can see, has probability of not being detected, deducting durability by 3.5%. Sorry, misread that. However, what you can do is you just buy a couple, and look what they have. So you have minigame reward acquisition rate, 7%, super armor while digging, rigid immunity. This is what you would want to look for, in my opinion, when you're first starting. So I'll talk more about this in the Gathering guide, but TLDR, when you're Gathering, monsters are going to attack you and stop you from Gathering, and it's unbelievably annoying. But if you have super armor, you can get attacked by most mobs, except for like bosses, and you won't actually stop gathering. So you can gather much quicker, so not to delay your character's leveling because you're spending too much time gathering. So when you do first get into your gathering, make sure you come into here and keep buying tools until you get your super armor. Don't worry about the silver it costs because it's really not much silver compared to what you can have at level 50 to begin with. Number 6, skill point potions. So when you acquire skill point potions, it's immediately going to give you extra skill points for your character. Skill points, when used on your skills, will actually make them more powerful and unlock abilities. So getting as many skill points as possible is super important. You're going to see skill point unlocks from many different areas. You're going to get them from collections, you're going to get them from affinity, and you're going to get them from content like towers. So for example, if you go and click on a tower and look at level 50, you will see here that you have a skill point potion. So whenever you see these for a reward or whatnot, make sure to beeline for them so you can get your skill points to unlock your character's full potential. Next up, let's talk about upgrade stones, sometimes known as leap stones or breakthrough stones. I'm not exactly sure on the translation. So what these stones are, they are upgrade materials used to upgrade your gear. So you're going to have a different type for your weapons and your armor, but they are needed regardless of what you are upgrading. So you got to keep in mind that there are currently 3 different types. So they're going to be T1, T2, and T3, and each tier is going to have 1 of 2 types. 1 for armor, 1 for weapon. Sometimes you're going to get boxes that says, for example, would you like 20 T1, 10 T2, or 5 T3? It's really important you don't open these boxes because, for example, you may be on tier 1 and you may unlock them all and then go to T2 gear, but then you still have a bunch of T1s because you opened them all and now you don't have any T2 ones to upgrade your gear. So when you get a box that offers you multiple options, do not open them unless you absolutely need them because you can really get yourself stuck a little bit. So the breakthrough stones are really important. They're going to be used in upgrading, and you can get them in a lot of different ways. But whenever you see them, you're going to want to focus them. The reason I bring this up is because when you're doing your Ulu quest, for example, here, you'll see that this quest here doesn't offer any stones. You don't want to do this quest. The quest you want to do, for example, is this one because it offers the breakthrough stones. So when you're doing your dailies or you're going to do any unlocks or whatnot, if you see them, make sure you go and get them because you are going to need them. So tip number 8 is going to be skipping. So what I mean by this is when you level up your main account, you're going to go and set up an alt. When you first log in on that alt, it's going to offer you to jump over the tutorial, which will jump you straight to level 10. Make sure you do that. Second is auto skipping dungeons. So when you're doing dungeons, there's going to be a lot of optional cutscenes that quite frankly are kind of annoying. So what you're going to do is open up your settings, go into manipulation and display, and come down here and just turn on auto skip and dungeon. So whenever those scenes come up of the movie scenes that you're going to constantly have to skip, it'll automatically skip them for you, and quite frankly, it makes leveling much more brain dead and just easier to achieve. So make sure you turn this setting on once you have started leveling your ults. Number 9 would be teleporting. So honestly, the world map in Lost Ark is a little bit annoying because it is split up into many different continents, which require you to jump on a boat and go around to them, and you won't necessarily have access to all of them early on, so it is pretty annoying. However, if you have a sub or you have a key, you can use your Bifrost. So the Bifrost is in here. So what the Bifrost does is it allows you to go to a location and save that exact location. And then you can teleport it back to at any point. So for example, something you use this for is something where you would usually do a daily over there, or for example, over here where you don't have the ability to jump on a ship and go there, you would set the teleport up there and just hit teleport. And for a low cost, it'll instantly teleport you across. Now, it is key to note that you have one here. You can unlock one more key by doing your full adventures, but that is going to take you a while. If you want access to a few teleports immediately, you're going to need the Blessing, which will unlock these 2 teleports over here. It really does save a lot of time, so if you have the Blessing, or even if you have a key, make sure you reserve a good location. Keep in mind that you cannot reserve any location. I believe it cannot be assigned to like special event islands, for example. But a majority of the game, it'll allow you to instantly teleport. So for tip number 10, we're going to quickly have a look at your early grinding. So there are a lot of things to do in Lost Ark, so it can get kind of overwhelming. So I want to talk quickly about the couple of things you want to unlock and make sure you're doing as soon as you hit level 50. So first up would be your Guardian range, which is located over here on your boards. I've turned everything off else in the city so you can easily locate them. It'll be a red flag symbol, whichever city that you go into. Another main thing would be your Chaos Dungeons, which you can see are located over here. So your Chaos Dungeons will go up in difficulty and gear score depending on what region you're in and what your current item level is set to. You're going to be running these twice every day, and you're going to want to make sure that you do it every single day because it is that important. The other thing that you're going to be doing is your Ulu quest in here. So you'll have your dailies and weeklies. I touched on this earlier that you want to unlock the leap stones or breakthrough stones. So while that is important, it is also really important to do these as much as possible, because when you do these, it allows you to use these tokens over here to go and hand them in and get gold. And gold is basically everything in this game, so it's extremely important that you make sure that you always cap out on this whenever humanly possible. And you're going to want to do it early on so you can start building up your gold reserves, because it does take a lot of gold to upgrade a lot of your end game materials. Okay, so that covers my 10 things I wish I knew when I first started playing Lost Ark. Hopefully these tips will help you avoid some of the mistakes that me and some of the other people I've spoken to made when first joining Lost Ark. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.